Sunny in here with Miss Linda Burbidge.
Hi.
Why did I mess that up?
I don't know.
How could I get that? Linda, you've been here many times. I messed up your last name. Burbidge. What? Linda Burbidge. Good morning.
You're not the first one to do it. You won't be the last.
Okay, perfect.
So,
what is your title at the college?
I am the instructor for farm management education.
Okay. And which is probably fairly prevalent in the summertime.
Yes, it is. And our program, actually, we help serve farmers throughout the community.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we're based out of several different colleges throughout the state. So we're hosted by different colleges, but we have locations all over the state to help with really any place a farm would need help with management. But primarily, we do a lot of financial management help.
Oh, sure.
So we will help farmers get set up on their record-keeping software. We'll help them analyze their data, because now we get data from so many places, right?
Sure.
We're collecting data through some of our precision ag software, and we've got financial data, and so it's making sense of all of that and putting it together into something meaningful and useful.
Now, in the summertime, I can't imagine you're bringing these farmers into like the classroom. So
No.
you must go to them.
No, I go to them typically, or we'll visit in my office. So it's typically a one-on-one sort of dynamic. So they're not in a classroom learning. Every farm is different. And if you've talked to any farmer, you know that. So we really want to tailor it and personalize it to their individual farm needs.
And that's perfect.
Yeah, and everyone's at a different place too. Some people really want help with the financials, but we also have people who just want help with goal setting or marketing. We also do farm succession, transition planning, and things like that, which is a whole nother animal. So definitely lots of places we can assist.
Now, would you recommend this kind of thing for every farmer? I mean, are there some farmers out there who are like, you know what, we've been doing this years and generations on our own, but what would you say to those people?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think there is this misconception that this program is for farmers who are struggling financially, or maybe they're new and they're just getting off of the ground. But it's really for anybody, because one, we meet you where you're at. Like, what are your needs? Your needs change over the life cycle of your farming operation. So we can meet you where you're at. And ultimately, too, it's a little bit like professional development for farmers.
Of course, yeah.
So it helps you where you need the help. What are your weak areas? Where can we help fill those gaps?
Okay. All right. So it is recommended, but I mean, you know, for everybody with their different needs, you can really custom build and tailor make them for them.
Yes,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We can make the program what you want it to be for your farm.
Now, let's say there is for lack of a better term, a transitional period between farmers and generations. Is that something that you would recommend also for this type of?
Yeah, and that's a good place, because you know, it's one thing. I think when people think about farm transition, they really think a lot about, let's transition the land, let's transition the assets, because that's a big chunk of what has to happen. And it can have huge tax implications, but there's so many other things that go into that transition. It's giving up management responsibilities. It's deciding who's going to do some of the day-to-day things versus the longer-term planning, marketing. Like, you talk to a lot of newer farmers, and when they think about, okay, if I'm going to take over the operation from my parents or from my uncle or whoever, you know, their biggest concern often is marketing. How am I going to manage that? So, yeah, there's definitely lots of places, and it can be hard for the owner generation to give up control sometimes.
I was thinking that myself, right?
Yeah, we have to kind of work with them a little bit and think about, well, what's reasonable? So it's not necessarily something we can finish in one season, right? When we start that, we'd like to have a longer period to work with them. And
like you said, the older generation, they can be pretty locked and loaded, and they're just, maybe they're not quite there yet, but they know what has to happen at some point.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So somebody who is out there, they're listening and they're going, you know what? I hadn't really thought about it. Sounds interesting. How does that person get enrolled in something like this?
To get enrolled, well, you can visit our website, which I'll talk about where to find that in a minute, but you enroll in the college credits. So it's actually it's a non-degree offering. So you take 2 credits in the fall, 2 credits in the spring. So you pay a little bit of tuition. Summer's free, basically, because I'll work with you all year. I'll see you all year. And tuition is for a full year, full academic year, is $786 roughly, and some change. So I always tell people, they're like, gosh, that seems expensive. But when you think about what you pay your tax accountant, it's not so bad.
Right.
And when you think about the average farm size in Bottineau County, that's around 1,400 acres. That's less than $2 an acre. So it's really a pretty good value. Plus, we have tuition grants available.
Okay. So there's a number of
Yes.
ways.
Yes.
Okay. And what is that website?
It is ndfarmmanagement.com.
ndfarmmanagement.com.
And if you're in the Bottineau area, you can certainly call me. My number's 228-5442. But if you're just on the fringes of the listening area, maybe rugby is more convenient, or Minot. Like I said, we have locations throughout the state. So if you look at that website, ndfarmmanagement.com, then you can see the other locations and contact the instructor in your area.
Now, before you and I went on, we were talking about how busy you are throughout the school year. It's like, you were walking through the hallway yesterday and you were asked to come out here and talk about this. So, I love the fact that, the teachers, we think, they get 3 months off. Do they, though? Do they really?
Well,
no, you really
not
don't.
really.
No, you don't. Dr. Linda Burbidge, anything else you'd like to add?
I guess the other thing that might be of interest to people, too, if you go to the website I mentioned, ndfarmmanagement.com, we have our benchmarking data available now from 2024.
Okay.
So when we do have farmers who come in and work with us, if they do their financials, we'll de-identify all that data statewide. We'll put together averages to say, okay, what's average net farm income? What is average liquidity? Things like that can help just the average farmer go, okay, am I above or below where I should be? So, for example, cash expenses, like we would sum up total cash expenses and take the average. And so that might be really useful for some people. All of that information's on our website, and I think we have it up there back to 2018 for sure.
Okay.
We might go a little farther back. We've been a program for, since here in Bottineau since the 80s. At some point.
You've been stockpiling for a while then.
Yes. There's a lot of data out there, and it's useful. So even if you're not involved in the program, there can be useful things from the information we gather.
All right. Sounds amazing. So what was your number again?
It is 228-5442.
Okay. Sounds great. Well, thank you so much. Dr. Linda Burbidge from the college. Appreciate it.